Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining the webinar today. My name is Dustin Cohen-Mitchell, and I am a veteran in this industry. I'm a top earner with Seacret Direct, which is the company that you were involved with if you are watching this presentation. And I assume that you are watching it because you are interested in knowing exactly what you need to do in order to be a top earner yourself. You are a business builder, you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, and you're ready to make this happen. So what I'm going to share with you this evening is a system that I developed well over 15 years ago and implemented in my first company. And based on that, we were able to double the size of our organization in a period of 180 days following this 90-day fast track. Now, I'm going to go very, very fast, but we're going to make sure that this is recorded so that you can go back and watch it. And there will be follow-up webinars for you to watch and participate in so that you know exactly how to implement this, because you'll have questions. Don't expect to get it all today, but this is going to be an overview of what is going to be required for you to be able to do that. So what we're looking at here is how to get you from zero, so a newly born or newly started agent, to Diamond Agent within this 90-day period. And I promise you that if you follow this system, it is fail-safe. I've never had anyone who followed this system not be able to achieve the objectives that they set out for themselves. But it is key that you are consistent. So we're going to start and we're going to go through these slides. So what you need to realize is that direct sales, network marketing, it's a numbers game. Okay, so when we look at ranks or your income level, we have platinum, ruby, diamond. All right, platinum is equivalent to about $4,200 a month in commissions. Ruby 74, and diamond is 14,000 a month. Diamond is what we would consider for most people that put them at a full-time income. They're going to be able to support their house and their spouse on that range. But you're looking at somewhere in between the $50,000 and $168,000 a year income. That's full-time income for most people. So that's what when we're looking at these slides and when you're watching this presentation, those are the numbers that we have in mind. It's not to say that if your goal is not more than that we can't get you further, or if you don't want $4,200 a month in income, maybe you're just looking for $500 to $1,000 a month, we can still follow the system and get you there. It's just going to be a matter of what your goals are. But we're really focusing on people that are business builders and want to make this happen for themselves. So there are two ways that you can build your secret business. There's the slow track, right? Those are people who are cautious, they're conservative, they have some doubts as to whether or not the business is going to work for them. Maybe they've been part of other companies and it didn't work for them, so they're a little reluctant. They go through the motions, they do a little bit of work here and there, but for the most part, I consider them just sort of stable or waiting. And then we have people that are committed to the fast track. I call these people go now distributors. They're ready to go now. They're going to set this on fire. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they're going to be committed to this. They're passionate, not just about the company and the business model and the opportunity that it presents, but about the products and sharing it with others. And they have complete and total belief in the system and their leadership and their upline. And it is way easier to go fast than it is slow. And we have a lot more fun doing it. So in the fast track, you're going to go berserk. You're going to get absolutely fanatical about building this business. You're just going to put your blinders on to negativity. You're going to put everything else out. You're not going to get focused on the dot. You're going to have to give some things up. Maybe it's television. Maybe it's going out to the wine bar a couple times a week. Whatever that is, you're going to have to just focus and be willing to sacrifice those things so that you can be 100% committed to this system. You can do 2 or 4 runs all at once. So you can be full-time in this, you can be part-time in this, you can work it around your schedule. But I know a lot of you have full-time jobs and you have families, and so the time commitment is an issue. So you can adjust that accordingly. But the key is that you're going to be committed. In our system, we leverage people to get them to lead to other people. What I want you to put in the back of your mind right now is that everything that's required as part of this fast track is about leading people to their people. Get out of your head the notion that, oh, I'm going to get these people so that I can recruit them into my business. A lot of times that happens, but think of it in a different manner. Think of it as we want to know who those people know and who those people know so that we can build numbers. This business is a numbers game. Your goal is going to be to sponsor a minimum of 4 new agents per leg. That's 8 people, right? And we're going to build momentum working with those people, getting them involved in the fast track so that you can earn commissions, you can have fun, and we prime the pump. Now, when I say the word prime the pump, I'm going to preface this with a story. I was in Boy Scouts, and we went on a hike one time. And it was August. We didn't prepare. We didn't have enough water. It was so hot out. And there was this old water pump that we came across. And super excited, ran up to the pump, started pumping it, and nothing came out. We were all pumping and nothing came out. And the Scoutmaster came up and explained to us what we had to do. We had to prime the pump. We had to put in a lot of effort and a lot of work and energy into priming that pump fast to get the water to come up out of the well, right? But once the pump had been primed and the water was coming out, then it just had to be pushed and primed just a little bit every so often, and the water continued to flow. The same thing happens in this business. You're going to put in a lot of work and a lot of effort, and in the beginning, nothing's going to be coming out of the pump. But then all of a sudden, it's going to start to gush, and then just push it a little bit every so often, and it's going to continue to flow. And that flow is not going to be water, but it's going to be commissions going directly into your pocket. So you're going to activate your business when you come on board. You need to be a product of the product, and you cannot share effectively the products with other people unless you are using them yourself. So maybe you can't, and I realize most people can't afford to try all the products at once. So pick an area that you want to focus on and try a few of those. You need to be secure, this is to secure ongoing residual income. So I want to put something to rest right now before we get any further in the presentation. Recruiting is the lifeblood of every direct sales company. That's how we build our sales and distribution teams. But commissions derive from the sales of products and services. So we are a customer acquisition company. That means that you need to develop customers. We don't just recruit people and recruit people and recruit people, and then there are no customers because there's no money, all right? So to have secure, ongoing, or residual income, we build a team, an army, if you will, and this army is going to go out in force and also develop customers and an organization, and that leads to commissions, residual income. And we follow through 180 days after the first 90. You can do 90-day fast tracks in a row. When I started this, because I had to perfect it, right? It was just something basic in the very beginning. I did 4 90-day fast tracks. I did a year worth of 90-day fast tracks with taking just a couple of, a week break in between. And, in that period of time, my income doubled. And it was incredible. We're going to build out 2 legs or sales organizations, and we are going to work with people who are go now, who are ready to make this work for them. If you find people that are going to be stable or waiting or just want to be, get the product at wholesale, that's fine. You can still recruit them, but we're going to focus on working with the people who are go now. So there's 4 ways to build your secret business. First way is we give people the opportunity to do a trial run. Now, by what I mean by trial run is we get them some products at our cost. You don't need to make money off that. Just order them some product, let them try it, and let's see if they can lead us to some people. Have them develop a names list of 10 people, and they will give that to you, and you will contact those people to see if they would be interested. If you're new to this business, then those names would actually go to your sponsor or your mentor in this fast track program so that they can contact them until you learn how to speak to people, how to design an approach. So that's the trial run. We see if the business will work for them before they're even on board. Okay. Second choice, they can do a 1-year plan, the Getting Started Guide. The 1-year plan is getting them to Diamond or above within that 1-year period. They follow the outline materials in the back office, and they focus to this this program. They can do the fast track, the 90-day fast track, getting to Diamond, a six-figure income in the 90 to 180-day period. Those people are going to be people who are entrepreneurs and professionals. They realize the power of the business model, and they're ready to go now. And then there are those who are going to be on the slow track, the stable or waiting people. And you never know when people who are on the slow track, when something's going to happen in their life that's going to put them in gear to where they can be on the fast track. So we just love them. We let them be part of the family. We work with them when they have questions, and we allow them to go at their own pace. But you are on this presentation because you are choosing the fast track. You are tired of living a life of mediocrity, of having more week at the end of the check, and you're going to make this happen, and you're going to be totally committed. So let me go through the requirements to participate in this program, because this is not a corporate program. This is my program. This is something I developed, and we'll see after re-implementing it with Seacret, the Seacret organization, how well it works, and perhaps then we'll open it up to the entire company. But this program these are my requirements. You must be totally committed to this system and unwavering in your determination to succeed. You must have a well-defined goal statement, and you must be a professional. That means you have the trainings and the tools and the systems to be able to answer people's questions and provide them with more information, and that you are doing result-producing activities 80% of your time. So people get in the habit of getting involved in a company, in Seacret, and they'll say they spend 90% of their time in their back office playing around or watching trainings. That's not result-producing activity. 20% of your time can be done on administrative work and watching trainings. The other 80% needs to be done in one of two areas: customer acquisition or prospecting, recruiting, and sponsoring new agents into your organization. I will work with you, or the person who invited you to view this presentation, who is your mentor, will work with you to help you define your goal statement. We need to know what it is that you want, why you're doing this business, and where you want it to take you. Money is not a goal statement. I want to know what you want to do with the money, how much it's going to cost to live the lifestyle that you want to live. And I don't care how little or how much it is. Whatever your goal is, I can break it down into monthly, weekly, and daily activities to tell you exactly what you need to do in order to achieve that. So a well-defined goal statement is critical. And you need to be a professional. You need to act like the person. You need to be the person that you would want to recruit. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, and I want you to ask yourself a question: would I want to be recruited by myself? And if the answer is no, then you need to make some changes in your life so that you are more professional. I don't like the phrase "fake it till you make it," because that makes you a fraud. But when people ask you, they have the question, well, how much money are you making in this business? Your answer could be, well, it's not how much money I'm making now, it's how much I'm going to be making and whether or not you want to be a part of it. If you want to talk to somebody who's making money, let me get you on the phone with Dustin or with our CEO, Izhak, and we'll do a three-way call if that's so important to you. But you need to sell them on your vision. People don't join companies, they join people. You are the reason that people are going to join your organization and your team. So you need to reflect that. You need to be willing to commit at least 20 hours a week to this system. 40 would be great if you have it available. If you're a couple, that can be put together, because I'm showing the system based on if one individual is working it, but if two are working it, you're just going to get there so much faster. Your time commitment determines the number of trial runs that you can effectively direct, or people that are on the trial run, or we're seeing who they can lead to. We're going to master the basic 5. I'm not going to get into it in this presentation. It's another presentation, what I call the basic 5. It has to do with retailing, prospecting, recruiting and sponsoring, training, and then building your business in depth using something I call the ABC pattern. We're not going to focus on this right now. We're just focusing on what's required and what you're going to need to do in order to stay on this fast track. You're going to commit to a weekly progress call, a conference call with our team, with everybody that's on the fast track, where we all talk about what frustrated us with the week, what amazing things happened during the week, and we go through. It's sort of like like you're giving your progress report to everybody that's in our organization and on this trial. But you're going to speak with your mentor a minimum of once a day so that you can talk about what happened. You're going to use and understand the system. So we have a trial run in our process. In this system, we have 3-1-2, we have 10-3-2, and we have 26-4. And here's what this means. 3-1-2 is the slow track. It means that you're going to talk to 3 people a day, and you're going to set 1 appointment a day, and you're going to add 2 names to your possibilities list every day, 5 days a week. So at the end of the week, you would have contacted 15 people and spoken with them about the business or the products. You would have set 5 appointments to have them attend a webinar or get them on a conference call or maybe meet with them one-on-one, and you would add 10 new names to your possibilities list. The fast track is 10-3-2. You're going to call 10 people a day or contact 10 people again. And the purpose of that is to set 3 appointments a day to show them the plan or introduce them to the product or use some sort of sales tool to move them forward in the process. And you're going to add 2 new names to your possibilities list a day. That's the fast track. That's the 90-day fast track. Now, if you are very, very committed and ambitious, you can do 26-4. It's doubling the fast track. I did this, I was only able to do this effectively because it's so tiring for 2 runs of 90 days, so 180 days. But you know what we know what I'm going to say. You're going to call and speak with 20 people a day to set 6 appointments a day and add 4 new names to your possibilities list. If you're new to this business, that's probably not the option that you want to choose. But every single one of you can do the 10-3-2 if you commit yourself. The ABC pattern of building depth in your organization, we use our tools and we sell tools like tickets. We get people to the events and we allow the system to teach and train them. We sell products, we sell the system or the plan, and we sell tickets to events. You need to commit to being at the next event, our national event. I'll get you that information at the end of the webinar. I'm in Phoenix next week for their West Coast regional, but we have them all over the country. You go to those events. Events are key components to building your business for 2 main reasons. Number one, that's where you yourself develop the right attitude and knowledge to sort of drive yourself. It's where you refuel, because when we go out into the world and we're building the business and we encounter negativity and people tell us no, we get discouraged. So when we get together as a family, as a group, as a team, and we're trained, we get excited, we recharge our batteries. Those are very important. But getting new people to the events helps them build that same belief, but you are allowing the system and the company and the top trainers in the company to train your people as to how to build their business. So being at the events and having tickets to the events are critical. If you're going to be part of my fast track team, not only do you need to commit to being at the national event, but you need to also purchase tickets, additional tickets to the event, depending on what your rank level is, so your commission's earning level, so that you can sell those tickets to your recruits as you see them. You don't just say, oh, go to your back office and get a ticket. You have tickets ready. They're on hand when they come on board. You discuss your goals with them. They say, I want to be Ruby, I want to be making $4,200 a month by this time frame. And you say, okay, great. Well, we're going to need an organization about this size. You at least need 4 tickets, 1 for yourself and 3 for 3 of your business partners. Here you go. Okay. We build from event to event. We set our goals from event to event. And that gives us the ability to do something that I call measure, monitor, adjust, and control. You can control the outcome as long as we are measuring the activity that we're doing. If we measure the activity and we see that it's not producing the results that we want, we can adjust it And that gives us control on the end result. Have a possibility and a prospect generating system. So if you don't know a lot of people, that's fine. I'm going to teach you and show you exactly what you need to do in order to generate new people for your possibilities list. Maybe you're really active on social media. I can teach you how to engage those individuals. Maybe you're not active on social media, but you would like to be. Again, I have systems in place and I can teach you how to find people. We are not in this business to recruit people. We are in the relationship development business. So don't think of this as, oh, as soon as I see this person, I'm going to tell them about the business and vomit all over them, because you may ruin a prospect. We want to lead people, have people lead us to their people, so that we're dealing with larger numbers. Your probability of success goes up tremendously when we're dealing with large numbers. You need to have the attitude of a leader. Think and act like someone who is a platinum agent right now. If you were making $14,000 a month, how would you act? What would you do? What would you do with your time, and how would you speak to people? How would you present yourself? And when you are speaking to people, you need to create a sense of urgency. Most often, they're going to ask the question what is it? Do not answer the answer to what is it. You're going to have a brief statement about it, but your purpose is going to be to get them on the phone with another leader so that you can capitalize on their experience and use them as an expert. You say, you know what, I'm really busy right now. I'm in a hurry. I don't have time to get into it. Let me get your number and set a time to call them so that I can get you some more information. And we're going to fill your calendar with people. If you're doing the 10-3-2 at the end of the month or at the end of the week, remember, like I said, we're doing it 5 days a week. You're going to have set 15 appointments. At the end of the month, that is 60 people that you have met with or spoken with about the product, the opportunity, having them lead you to other people. Even if your recruiting ratio is horrible, we'll say it's 1 out of 10, that is still 6 new agents in your organization a month. And when we have 10, 20, 40 people in our organization all on the fast track, it leads to tremendous growth. And it creates a synergy that is very, very hard to describe, because we're building in depth. That's what makes this company so amazing, is that you're not in competition with the other agents that you bring on board, because we don't build in width, we bring in depth, and everything adds up and we all help each other and we all get paid. Set requirements for anyone that works with you. In the beginning, if you are a new agent and you're going to join this fast track with us, let's say if I recruit you, I would suggest you adopt the same requirements that I've used with you. But you need to lead by direct example. People are going to duplicate what you do. And you need to find the energy, and you need to align yourself with somebody who has the energy and the ambition and who is running as fast as you are, so that you can match it. I guarantee that I will run as fast or faster than any of you run. I will carry 50% of the bricks, but you have to carry the other 50. But if you aren't doing the result producing activities, I'm going to work with others who are. We recruit large numbers of people, but we only work with small numbers of people. What does that mean? It means that you are going to, anybody that wants to come on board in the business, we're going to bring them on board. We're not going to table them or tell them no, because like I said earlier in the presentation, you never know when they are going to become go now. We work with people, though, who are go now. Those are the people we give the majority of our time to. So the purpose of this is, when we generate a large organization, if you want, I'll illustrate it this way. If you're going to burn down a house, you don't light the fire in the attic, right? You light it in the basement or the lowest point, so that the heat, the flame, the energy goes up. That's what we do in our organization and in Seacret, because we are a binary business model. We're not a multi-level marketing thing. We build in depth. So let's say we have John, and John recruits Ellen, and Ellen recruits Heather, and Heather recruits Jacob. And all 3 of them aren't go now material. But I look down in depth and I see that Jacob is on fire. He's ready to go. He's going to do anything. He just wants to be taught. I'm going to treat that person, I treat everybody in the organization, as if they're my own, but I'm going to treat that person and give him all the energy and all the focus so that he can duplicate the ABC pattern and building in depth again. And those are the individuals we work with. Why? Okay. The reason and the purpose in doing that is that when we develop large organizations in depth, those who are not go now distributors or agents, those who are not ready to build the business on a massive scale, they're going to think twice about leaving when they look and they see that they have an organization of 100, 500, 1,000 people underneath them, because they know that they only need to do a couple of things and some more result producing activity to begin earning. You also need to be willing to travel and to have at least 2 groups at a distance. When I developed this system, keep in mind that there were no webinars. We still did presentations with flip charts and writing on chalkboards. So traveling was important. The internet and the advent of the internet and Zoom has eliminated this need to an extent, but you still need to be willing to travel once there's a core group so that you can do local meetings. People like to be around other people. COVID, it stopped a lot of that, and especially now people are wanting to go out and be social and be active. So just putting everybody into webinars and on Zooms is not necessarily the best option for your business. Be willing to travel and commit to doing that and to develop two systems at a distance. And I'll explain the reason for that again in another presentation. The keys to the fast track. You're going to do it for 90 days, 13 weeks. Each person you work with for 6 weeks, for 42 days personally. You're going to commit to working with that person. We plug each of those individuals into the system, into the team systems as it grows. So we show them exactly where they need to go into the back office to watch the trainings. We make sure they're on the conference calls. We make sure that they get event tickets. We make sure that they're part of the SMS, the text group message system, so that they can get announcements. And we do corings. A coring is like a specialized training. And I often do those through webinars. So maybe we'll have a specialized training on just the skincare so that you can develop an attitude and knowledge necessary to speak fluently about the skincare. And then maybe we'll have one just on the club secret aspect. Or maybe we'll do a larger basic 5 training where we cover all of the activities and processes that are necessary in order for you to build a successful business. But those are additional trainings that fall under the scope of that 20% of your time rule that I spoke about earlier. The keys to the fast track. The objective is to sponsor in this 30-day period 2 to 8 go now agents that you're going to work directly with. Now, 2 to 8 go nows, not 2 to 8 people. Okay. So I don't know what your ratio is going to be in sponsoring and finding those people. Remember, people lead to people. Maybe you're lucky and the first 2 people that you sponsor they're going to decide, I'm going to do this business with or without you. Get out of my way. I'm going. But maybe your ratio is higher than that. Our goal is that 2 to 8 in that 90-day period, and you're going to work with them. At least 2 or 4 personally sponsored go nows in each leg. Okay, so it's a total of 4 is what we want. And remember, you have an organization that's working with you and placing people beneath you as well. People lead to people. A go now in depth, like I said earlier, is your person, and you treat them as if they are your personally sponsored, because they are your personally sponsored from a volume perspective. Commit them to the 90-day fast track if they're ready, and if not, work them through the lead system and find out who they know and who they can lead you to identify more people. The objective is for you to get to this $14,000 a month income range, the Diamond Agent, and by doing so, you are going to help others become a hopeless success in the process. The key to this business is to get your team members earning checks. They will stay with you if you get them earning. They're going to leave if they don't. So focus on getting them paid, and you're going to get paid automatically. And make sure you are working with go nows. So how valuable is your time? If you are into math, which I'm not super mathematical, but I like philosophy, and that generates a lot of these equations, you might understand this. So this is my equation for your time. T stands for time, but there's a qualifier above time. It's the quality of your time. So if you're putting in time, you're sitting at a desk moving a stack of papers from one side of your desk to the other side and back and forth. Technically, yes, you're putting in time, but it's not quality time. You want to be focused on quality time. That equals growth, G for growth, and there's a qualifier over growth is duplication. We want that growth, your team, what you're doing to grow your team, to be duplicated by those who you have brought on board as agents as well. And that's going to equal volume from the form of product sales, and volume equals commission checks. This equation is what will generate the lifestyle that you desire. This is how you're going to get to the point where you want to be with your goal statement. And then, so when we look at this, if you call me up and you say, oh, I have a problem, or you have some sort of complaint, or this isn't working, go to this equation and say, okay, well, I put in the time, but was it quality time? Was it effective here? Because that goes back to what I said about measuring, monitoring, adjusting, and controlling your business. We have to measure so that we can adjust and monitor your activity so that we can control the outcome. So here's just to recap. We're going to deal with large numbers of people. We aren't depending on anyone. You're depending on yourself to do this. We know that people lead to people. Do not wait on anyone. You're going to do this with or without them. Get out of my way. I don't care if you do it. Who do you know who will do it? Every single person you know knows someone who it could be a diamond agent. Have those people that you're speaking with lead you to those people. And do not let your timing be dependent on their timing. Just because someone isn't ready doesn't mean it should hold you up. Move on. I guarantee you at some point in the future, they're going to look at you and they're going to come back. Work with Go Now distributors, Go Now agents, people who are going to do this with or without you, regardless. And your business is going to explode. So what's the characteristics of a Go Now distributor? They are going to be willing to work their business at least 10 to 15 hours a week in result producing activities. They're going to implement the Getting Started program and base 10-7 strong. Let me explain what base 10-7 strong is. When we have an organization of at least 7 agents, so you count as 1, so you're 1, and then 3 on your left, 3 on your right, who each have 10 customers, okay? Have people lead to people, and we implement the ABC pattern of building depth. And again, work with your Go Nows. Stable agent characteristics, not really, I'm going to sort of just skip over this one. They're committed, they're going to use the products, they result in a little bit of volume. They might sponsor someone, but you never know when they're ready to go. We just plug them into the system and allow them to see the growth, and eventually they will catch the vision. But you must be a product of the product, not just do the minimum requirements, but be all in, okay? If you can't afford to use all the products, okay, great. Let's look at what we need to do for your business to get you to where you're earning so that you can use all the products. Because going back to what I said in the beginning of this presentation, we are a customer acquisition business. If there are no customers, there's no volume, there's nothing to pay you. We all want to have a customer base. And you never know when that customer was going to lead to becoming an agent. All right, so generate the numbers, the 3-foot rule. Speaking to people, everybody, or smiling or beginning a conversation with everybody that's within 3 feet. People generally only talk about 3 things: what's happening, their wishes, or the weather. And if they talk about those 2 things, it always leads to number 3, how rotten things are in their life. I don't want to sound morbid in this, but when people start complaining, that is so wonderful for me, because I listen to what they're saying, and very often our business can help satisfy some aspect through that. So if it's a health issue, we have amazing health and nutrition products. If it's another issue, it is almost always solvable with some degree of money. So even if it's like somebody's complaining to me about their marriage, oh, I would get a divorce if I just had the money, if I could support myself. Ding, 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 ding. I'm not going to go right after them, but I just made a mental note. And depending on, and as you learn this system, you will learn how to read people and know what the best approach is for them. But you are, again, developing a relationship. Make this happen using the FOR method. We'll get into that. And you must engage the conversation to get the desired results. This means you must listen to what they're saying, identify the key factors and components that would lead you further in the conversation, and ask questions. And you're doing this so that at some point you can bring up the business. You have to get into the game, and you have to be willing to play the game in order to be a success, in order to win it. You get their information so that you can follow up. And the point of this is so that you can book an appointment. Anytime you do not book an appointment after speaking with somebody, if you fail to do so, you have not been successful in that appointment, in that meeting. You always want to move somebody further. So when you get someone's information, you say, when is the best time to call you? Put it on your calendar. Say, I'm busy. Just let me put it on my calendar. Tell me, put it down. All right? And say, I'll send you a text to remind you. And after that one, maybe it's not time to get them involved and talk to them about the business. We set another follow-up call. Okay? Always be moving forward. They're going to become a customer. They're going to become an agent. Maybe they're going to refer you to somebody else. If they say they're not interested, a no does not mean no forever. It just means not right now. And they just go back on your possibilities list, and you follow up with them at a future date, a year later, whatever that might be. Things to remember to prepare for a successful secret conversation. It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. So be confident and be respectful, all right? Even if you confuse the hell out of them, they will just look at you, and if they're really interested, they'll just be like, will you just take me to your leader or whatever ship you got off of and let them explain it? You know, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You need to have an answer to what is it and what you do. Some people call it like a 2-minute commercial, but I don't. It definitely shouldn't be longer than 2 minutes. I really like it to be like 30 seconds to a minute. And when in doubt, blurt it out. What's the worst they can say? No? Okay, well, you got one no for the day. Move on to the next one. I want you to go out and get 10 people to tell you no a day. If you made a call with me every day and you said, yeah, Dustin, I had 10 people that told me no, here's their names, that's going to make me ecstatic because you're learning, you're following the system, but in that process, because this is also a learning, you earn as you learn business model, you're going to develop the skills and become better and better at the recruiting process. Generating the numbers, the evaluation technique, you must know how to use the ABC pattern. And that's, like, again, it's going to be another webinar because I've got to teach you how to recruit, and then teach those others to recruit. But until you get the 90-day fast track down, and until you are at least earning $2,500 a week in commit or a month in commissions, you don't need to worry about this. You rely on me and the rest of your upline leaders to help you with this. Evaluation techniques. Maybe this is a sample script. It's something that you might want to say. So take this down. You talk to somebody. Hey, maybe you could help me out. I met some people who are bringing a new business concept into the area, and I have the opportunity to work with 2 people to manage this expansion. You may or may not be interested, but I'd like you to evaluate it, and you may know the right people. If you lead me to the right people, we can work out something that would be mutually profitable. In this evaluation technique, you are asking them to look at the business so that they can give you their opinion, and we all know everybody loves to give their opinion, and we tell them it might be profitable for them in the end. They don't think that you want them. Very often, taking this evaluation approach, those individuals come on board with you because they end up wanting to be part of the business. The objective to your approach is to lead me to your people, accept information, give contact information, and book that appointment. Qualify them, and then show them the plan, either through a video or a webinar, or bring them to a one-on-one or a presentation. We want them to see exactly how they would make money as a secret agent and in our business model. When I say qualify the person, again, that goes back to, are you recruiting the type of person that you believe would be a business builder? Would you want an army full of these individuals? So if you meet a person at a bar at 12 at night, or 1 in the morning, and they're trashed and they have to work the following day, that's probably not the best prospect. Because again, would you want an army of people who go out every night until 1 a.m. and then show up for work hungover? Probably not. Attract the right people, find the right people. The best way for me to illustrate this would be if you consider a scale from 1 to 10. A 1 would be somebody that you would never ever want to be part of your team. A 10 would be somebody who you would kill for. On this scale, you are a 5. All right? Don't focus on trying to recruit 10s, because it's going to be difficult for you. You're going to feel like they are out of your league. But it is very acceptable and easy for you to recruit somebody who is a 6 or a 7 on your scale. Okay? Identify those people, talk to them. When we bring them into the business, we do the same thing with them. But on their scale, they are a 5. And we want them to recruit a 6 or a 7. On your scale, that would have been an 8 or a 9. You see where I'm going? So we're always recruiting a higher caliber of agent, and we're building more and more character into the company. It may take 1 or 2 follow-up calls to get them to evaluate it. It may take more than that. The key is just to make sure that you are following up. So what are the types of following up? We have one-on-ones or two-on-ones, where you sit down with them face-to-face and show them the product, maybe put some product on their hand or some mud on their face, or have them taste some of the health and nutrition products. 3-way calls are extremely, extremely powerful. You should be utilizing, when it comes to setting appointments, the majority of your time should be set in this 3-way call period, and doing Zoom calls with them, getting them on recorded webinars or having them view live webinars, meeting them at their home or their location so they feel comfortable on their grounds and territory. You can bring them to an opportunity meeting if you have them in your area. Now that COVID is over, we're beginning to have more and more group opportunity meetings, and you'll see those announced in the back office in the meeting section, and for our team, that'll be sent out via text as well in the group chats. And then you can just have a kitchen table presentation. You just sit down together and you chat about what's going on in their life. This is great for people who are friends or family, people who really know you, and because you don't need to get to know them, you're already on those terms, and you just talk about what's going on in your life and whether or not this might be a vehicle for them. Some advanced recruiting techniques and the referral technique. Maybe you can help me out. You may or may not be interested yourself, but if nothing else, I thought you might know the right person. However, I realize that you're not going to recommend anybody to me without knowing more about it. That's why I would love to get together with you for 30 minutes to show you our plans and what we're doing with the company, to see if you might know somebody who would be a good fit. If you identify the right people or lead me to the right people, it could mean a significant amount of money for you. Become a lead generator. Going back to these scripts, if you need scripts, I can send them to you. And but what I want you to do is adapt them to how you speak personally. Don't read it verbatim. Don't sound like a robot, because people can see right through that. All right. Purpose is to become a lead generator. Design the ultimate approach. We have 4 different approaches. We have the referral approach, where we ask somebody who they know who is looking for XYZ, better skin, better health, more money. We have the evaluation approach, where we ask people to try it. This is the trial run part, okay? Ask them to try the business before they're even on board to see if it would work for them. The product approach, where we get them to try the products to see if they like it and see maybe if they would want to host what we call a wow party, where they invite some people over. It means some money for them as an influencer, and then you also have customers, generate customers out of that. And then the direct approach. Look, I'm in business. I have partnered with some people who have made millions of dollars in this industry, and this company is amazing. Where we're going to go in the next 2 to 5 years is going to set records. I thought of you. Your name came to mind first because I know that you are what, and then put something in that would, that's not a lie, but put something in that's a compliment. You're highly motivated, or you're well connected, or you're very entrepreneurial minded. And that's why your name came to mind. I want you to look at what we have, and that's the direct approach. Approach components, opening exchange. You always have your personal introduction, how you got their name, the reason for the call, recognize their accomplishments or their profession, and establish common ground. Prepare in customizing your conversation to the approach. So you need to know about the person you're going to call before you call them. That's why with a lot of you, when I ask you for a names list, we go through your names list and I ask you questions about them. You give an appealing description of the business. What is Seacret? Your 2-minute commercial, which again, I'm going to say should be about 30 seconds to a minute. Integrate potential challenges in your follow-up in the business description so that you can discern preconceived notions. Like, is that one of those pyramid things? I love that. So we have answers to all of that. Recommend the benefits to whomever partners you're with. Whoever partners with you, and offer that's too good to refuse. This is very, very good when you are exercising the evaluation approach, because if they follow the system as outlined, they're not in the business yet, but it always leads to people who want to try the product and people who want to come on board in the business. And then your question to that person in the evaluation approach is, look, these people that you've led me to want to purchase the product and they want to come on board in the business. My question to you is, who's going to sponsor them, you or me? Ask for comments and feedback so that you can listen, learn, and think about how to respond to create urgency in the business. And then again, set the appointment. Get a written calendar, not just in your phone. It's okay to use your phone, but I still want you to go back and write it down. There's power in writing things down. Couple more examples. Introduction. Mr. Jones, this is Dustin Cohen. You don't know me personally, but a mutual acquaintance of ours, Elizabeth Delaney, recommended I give you a call. I was telling her about the lifestyle business we're expanding in the Clearwater area, and that I need 2 people who are well connected to help with our area launch. After describing what we're looking for, she mentioned your name. Elizabeth says you know everyone and have an astute business mind. She said that you may or may not be interested, but that you most certainly would know the right person. Eliminate the thing you are concerned about Eliminate the thing you are concerned they are thinking about. Now, Mr. Jones, I realize that you're very successful at what you do and you don't have a lot of time. I want you to know I'm not looking for your money or trying to sell you anything. I'm looking for your help in identifying 2 people who may be able to help me manage the growth in the area. Give an appealing description. There's another option. We're bringing a new company into the Clearwater area. The name of the company is Seacret Direct. The company is a multi-million-dollar leader in the anti-aging, wellness, and lifestyle spaces, and I can't really get into all the details right now. Option 2, we're bringing a new company into the Clearwater area. The name of the company is Seacret Direct. It's a leader in the anti-aging, wellness, and lifestyle industry. You can do any variety of these. You don't have to follow these. You can come up with your own, but have an appealing description so when they say, what is it? Or because they're going to ask, so that you're giving them information, but you're not telling them exactly what it is, because we want to get them on the phone with your sponsor, with me, with an upline leader, so that we can be the expert in this. We develop and manufacture the highest quality products and deliver them to consumers through an e-commerce platform that eliminates our overhead expenses and allows us to allocate those funds to pay our sales and distribution network. Example, asking for referrals through an offer too good to refuse. I mentioned this earlier. Now, Mr. Jones, you may or may not be interested, but if nothing else, you probably know the right person for this position. And if you choose to help me and you refer the right two individuals, I will work something out that's mutually profitable, and it can amount to thousands of dollars in royalties. The individuals whom we work with to set up this area should make $50,000 to $100,000 per year. Again, at the end of this presentation, you'll want to rewatch it and go through and write some of this down, but I can send all of these to you. You just need to contact me and let me know. Setting the appointment. I realize that in order to recommend anyone, you would need to know more about our business, and what it involves. I'm going to be in Clearwater on business on Thursday, and I'd love to get together and explain our marketing strategy and what the position involves. It should not take more than 30 minutes unless you're interested. Then maybe you can recommend the right people to me, and we'll work something out that's mutually profitable. I can meet you during lunch or after 5 p.m., which would be better for you. When you are getting and setting an appointment, don't ask when's good for them. Tell them, say, I'm available this day and this day at this time and this time, which would be better for you. I don't care if your calendar may be completely open that day. I still want you to say that you're only available at those two times. If they say whatever times you make up, if they say they're not available at those times, say, okay, that's when you can say, well, what day does work best for you? I might be able to fit you in. But you always want to fit that appointment. But when you come from a position of I have this time and this time available, it shows that you're busy. It shows that it gives off the impression that you're extremely successful and your time is valuable, and they are more likely to take you seriously. Treat this business as a serious business, and you will make serious money. Example number 2, an introduction. Sam, this is John Kreisberg, a voice out of your past. Remember me from university? Eliminate the thing you think they might be concerned about. Sam, I know you're wondering why I'm calling. I haven't seen you since medical school, right? It's because I haven't talked to you in several years. Well, something came up that brought your name to mind, and I just had to give you a call. Sam, I recently left my traditional job. I'm not practicing medicine anymore. Things were just not moving fast enough for me. Or if you're speaking with somebody from medical school, I use John as an example. The medical industry, it was just too much for me. And I was tired of feeling like I was keeping up with the Joneses, and that it was just success was just one more degree and one more patient away. My decision to leave has been an unbelievable opportunity for me. The company that I've become involved with is Seacret Direct, and it's a multi-million-dollar leader in the anti-aging wellness and lifestyle spaces. I became an agent and on a part-time basis, and I made enough money to go full-time, and now I'm on my way to making over $300,000 by the end of the year. It's unbelievable what has happened. At any rate, Sam, we are just expanding in the Clearwater area, and we're looking for 2 well-connected people who know others in the area. And that you live in Florida your whole life and know everyone, your name popped into mind. I thought you might be able to help me out. If you could help me locate the right people, it could mean an extra $100,000 to $300,000 a year for you, or to them, and sizable royalties for you. Set the appointment. Sam, I realize you need to know more about what we're doing, or more in order to evaluate whom you could recommend. I'm in Clearwater today on business. I thought we could get together briefly so I could show you some charts and diagrams, a little PowerPoint presentation, and explain the strategy. Then if you know the right people, we'll work something out that would be mutually profitable. At any rate, it would be good to see you again, and I appreciate you getting together with me. I can meet you now, or we can do it later this evening, which would be better for you. Respond to questions. If they ask questions, I know you have questions, and I'll cover that when we get together. It's easier to explain with our charts and diagrams, and it says charts and diagrams. Again, going back to the fact that I made this 15 years ago. It's easier to explain with my PowerPoint slide or on my tablet, okay? Don't make fun of me. If they ask more questions, and insist on sending information. Say it really requires explaining. I can text you a link to a presentation and give you a magazine or some materials that give you an overview. Use themes, learning to talk in themes. This will be another follow-up webinar presentation I'm going to have you learn. But you're going to ask them questions to bring them to the point where you can introduce more about the business. Have they ever heard about one-to-one marketing? Have they ever been part of a lifestyle and influencing company? Have they ever heard of Seacret? Depending on how they answer, you will have different answers for each of their responses. Well, that's what we do. We teach people how to make money doing exactly that. Does it sound like something you would like to learn more about? Or it's a revolutionary company. I'm going to explain it all to you when I see you. Referral networking. Everyone you know or meet knows at least one platinum agent right now. All right? Discover who it is. Instead of trying to get the person you are talking to and prospecting, get them to give you the people they know. We are talking to people to get to people. You'll end up recruiting them anyway in the long run. So this is a wrong diagram. Excuse me. Oh, no, it's not. 8 weeks, 8 prospects, okay? If we're going slow. We want to sponsor 8 go nows, right? Week 2, we're following up. We're going through. Week 3, this is the fast track program. We continue to build following the fast track program. Each person, they give you 2 contacts. So if you meet with 2 people, 8 people a week, they give you 2 contacts, 2 contacts, 2 contacts. When you say, when we look at the fast track, the 10-3-2, and you're like, I don't even know that many people. I don't have that many people on my possibilities list. That's okay, because the people you work with, they're going to lead you to people. Even if they're not interested in the business, you want those 2 people. Who do you know who would be interested? Okay? Week 4, you have added 186 names to your possibilities list. And we work those names together. Knowing your sponsoring quotient, what that is. Sponsoring quotient is how many people you have to show the plan to in order to sponsor one. The more no's, maybes, or waitings, the closer you are to finding a go now. It is a numbers business. The law of probability works in your favor when you are dealing with large numbers. It always works every time. It is foolproof if you do it. Knowing your sponsoring quotient, measuring the probability of finding the right people. For example, if it takes 4 presentations to sponsor 1 go now agent, the goal is to get to 5 go nows, then you need 20 presentations. We break it down into what you need to do on a monthly, weekly, daily scale in order to get you where you want to be, right? My sponsoring quotient is about 70 to 80%. So for every 10 people that I show the presentation to, I sponsor 7 or 8 of them. As you grow in the business and become more successful and your earnings go up, your rank goes up, you are going to sponsor more and more people. Your earning quotient, your sponsoring quotient, will go up. But the key is to show the plan. The key is to show the system and talk to people. You're not going to get better until you have people telling you no. 20 presentations divided by the number of prospects of 25 is 0.8. 8 out of 10 approaches must yield a presentation. It could be tough, right? So if you need to sponsor 8 people, maybe, and your sponsoring quotient so low, you get them on the phone with somebody who is in your upline, or maybe we need to talk to more people. But the key is to break that down. However, if we talk to 400 people and your sponsoring quotient's 20, 0.05, 5 out of 100 approaches must yield a presentation is far more probable. The lower the quotient, the more likely you are to succeed. So you approach more people. The failure quotient. The more no's, maybes, or waitings you get, again, the closer you are to a go now. So go out and try to get 100 people to tell you no. In fact, if you're going to be part of this go now team, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you go out and you get 100 people in the next 30 days to tell you no, I will write you a check for $100. Excuse me, for $1,000. 100 people tell you no without you sponsoring a single one of them. The key, I am going to put a qualifier on this, is that you have to be following the system, and they have to be on three-way calls, and they have to have watched. You have to be using the tools. Don't just go out and talk to 100 people on the street and call me and say, I talked to 100 people, they said no, send me my check. That's not going to happen, because all of this is also recorded, and that's also so you can follow up. I'm going to show you that in a second. The sponsoring quotient summary, again, it's a numbers game. The same numbers or odds for everyone. It's the same numbers for me as it is for you. The more people I talk to, the lower my quotient number, the higher my probability of recruiting go nows. It's a screening process. Look at this as a screening process, not a sponsoring process. We call it prospecting, recruiting, and sponsoring for a reason. We start by prospecting someone. That's getting to know someone, asking them questions, determining what they need from the business or how they could benefit from it. Recruiting is where we start to bring them into the business. We've introduced the business model to them, and we want to see if they are interested in the business model. And the sponsoring is the third part of that. It's when they've come on board in the business and you are teaching them how to duplicate and how to build a business on their own so that they can be a hopeless success. If you guys have noticed that I've said this multiple times, I'm going to do it again. I will say it, you'll hear me say it on stage. The law of probability works in your favor when you deal with large numbers. Talk to people, have lists, talk to everyone. It's the gas station, the UPS driver, people at the grocery store. Smile, ask questions. Everybody leads to people. Think about when you go to the casino and you had unlimited chips. At some point, you're going to cash in. Understanding the process. If you can get people to the presentation, the more likely you are to initiate the trial run or get them on the evaluation approach. Again, leading others, the more likely you are to have them lead to people. And that's going to increase your odds of finding those agents that are go now. I sort of already explained what the trial run is, but it's the process used to determine if someone's right for the business and if the business is right for them. Not everybody is right for Seacret, and we aren't the right director or right vehicle for everybody. We want to make sure that this is an intelligent decision for both of them, for both us and the company. The desired outcome is that there will be more potential prospects and customers through this process, and the individual who is not right for the business will eventually disqualify themselves. Trial run is test marketing. We present and we expose the business. We determine if they know the right people, and we test market the products, and we get them to lead us to customers. We retail to recruit. Write that down. Exposing the product to people is retailing to recruit. We remember the trial run process determines that if they are right for the business, there's nothing you can say or do that will keep them away. If the business will work for them, there's nothing you can say or do that will keep them away. They will find somebody to help them succeed, I promise. We'll plug them into the system. It is a fact that everyone knows people who are ready, willing, and able to do this business right now. People who are entrepreneurial, people who will have networking experience, people who are in direct sales or have been in direct sales, people who are well-connected, people with ambition to enhance their quality of life and improve their financial position. Those are the people we want to find and speak with first, because they are ready. They have a spark in them that they just need to have ignited for that flame to grow. And you get them to lead them to people. Implementing our trial run process in the 90-day fast track. We show the plan to the prospect, and the prospect chooses whether they want a 2 or 3 year plan or a 45-year plan. So I call the 2 to 3 year plan working a job. It's where you go to work for somebody else for 45 years of your life, or excuse me, I'm talking about 45-year plan. 45-year plan is working a job, where you go to work for somebody else 45 years of your life, so you can retire broke and wondering whether or not you're going to be able to support yourself in your retirement years. The 2 to 3 year plan is really the Seacret Direct business model, our system working on a part-time basis for people who are stable or doing the 3-1-2 sort of option, like I said in the beginning. They'll develop a couple of customers, and they have the belief. The 1-year plan is the 90-day fast track, which you were learning. So we adjust based on the prospect's comfort level. There's no decisions to make in a trial run. They get referrals. We provide them with more information. We meet with those people, see those people, speak with them on a 3-way phone call, get them on a presentation or a Zoom, and the ABC pattern begins at this point. We meet them, maybe it's a kitchen table presentation, or we meet at a coffee shop, and we get those people to lead to people, and then we'll have a home kickoff. It's all a process getting us to bring more and more people to the table so that more and more people can see it, and we adjust to everybody's comfort level. The bottom line is that if you get people to lead you to people, you need to get people to lead you to people fast. Make it work first, and then we'll bring them on and train them and they'll earn while they learn. If we show them that the system works before they even come on board, there is no decision to make. They've already made the decision. We've already shown them that the system works and that the business model works. And if they say no at the end of that, that's fine. God created an idiot. At least you have people that want to come on board in the business and customers from them. And then we duplicate it. Duplication is the key. The fact is that people lead to people, so lead me to your people. Each person, 4 to 8 people, brings 2 of his own people. We teach everyone upline to help their downline. Everyone upline is going to work with their downline go nows, and we duplicate that every 3rd level. That's the ABC pattern. Those of you who are part of my team, who I've personally sponsored and who are going to choose to come on this 90-day fast track, I've asked you all to develop a names list. That names list, for the most part, you are not going to call those people. You are going to give me those names, and I'm going to contact them using the exact same script that I showed you earlier. You don't know me personally, but Elizabeth spoke very highly of you. I'm one of the top agents in a company that's expanding in your area, and I'm looking for some people to help me, blah, 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 blah. I do the exact same thing that I'm asking you to do when I'm implementing this 90-day fast track. And your people, you're going to do it with your people. Duplicate, measure, monitor, adjust, control, and you will have an organization. With everyone bringing 2 people to the opportunity meetings, it's imperative. We have a presentation, if we have a webinar, if we have a Zoom call, you must bring or have 2 guests on there every time, at least once a week. Do not invite people to attend presentations in person. Pick them up. 100% of the people you bring to a presentation show up. If you invite them, things come up. They forget. They got home and the dog had vomited, or Aunt Tilly had an ingrown toenail. I don't care about those excuses. But if you tell them, I'm picking you up at 6:30, the meeting's at 7, we'll ride together, we'll save gas. All right? If they insist on driving themselves, say, great, I'll come over and you can drive me. Everyone circulates at least 5 recruiting tools. Recruiting tools could be webinar presentation links. You can use printed materials. You want to have those in circulation, and you set an appointment to get them back. That's where, so you say, look, I only have a couple of these. When you hand them the tool, look at it. When can I get this back from you in 2 days at noon? I'll be here to pick it up. You're going to build a leg as deep and as fast as you can, putting everybody under each other. How many levels deep can you go in 90 days? I don't know. Show me. I think in the last 30 days, I've driven one of my legs over 100 deep. How fast can you go? 3 levels every 90 days? That's all is required in order to do this system. Sources to feed possibilities. Think of it as a funnel. Okay, we have this funnel, and we're putting names into the funnel. Possibilities, we're going to cultivate them. Top 10 lists are different design and approach to show the plan so we can sponsor them and get them committed into the system. So we have customers, we have a names list. You need to at least by the end of your first 30 days have a names list of 100 people. We have people that want to try products like the samples. We have referrals. We have MLM contacts. They're all going into the funnel. We have acquaintances, relatives, associates, all into the funnel. People you know from church. We have people, if we see them running ads and posts on Facebook, competitions, they all go into the funnel. The 3-foot rule, people you meet at the gym, church, college courses, charities, clubs, again, all into the funnel. You only need 2 to 4 go now agents in order to make this explode. It's strictly a numbers game. The law of probability works in your favor when dealing with large numbers. Commit that to memory. And every time you have somebody tell you no, tell yourself that. That's great. The law of probability is working in my favor that since you said no, I'm dealing with large numbers. I'm going to do this with or without you. Thank you for telling me no and bringing me closer to my dreams. The things you should know on the trial run, there's 10 steps to duplication. There's get them in the Getting Started guide. Have them watching the trainings immediately out the gate. We want them making money within their first 2 weeks. Subscription kits is $49 to come on board as a secret agent. Do not bring anybody on board with just $49. They need to try product so that it can be a product of the product. And they need to be part of Club Secret so that they get their vacation, because what you set in motion carries in motion. If you bring somebody on board with just $49 and they don't have materials and they don't know what they're doing and they're not part of the system, then they're going to duplicate that. And get them to Getting Started trainings. We do the majority of those via webinar now, but we're getting to the part where we're doing more and more of those on a corporate level too, where all of the companies, trainers, top trainers will be doing those. And I will be traveling to major cities as well as those of you who join the 90-day fast track and you're setting things on fire and you have a team that's local. I will come in and I will have opportunity meetings with you and I will work with you to help you build that. The 10 steps to systemize effective duplication are that you have a names list of a minimum of 60 to 100 to start, and you're going to add 1 or 2 per day on the possibilities list. That's a minimum. If you're part of the fast track, you are adding at least 2 names to your possibilities list each day. Your answer to what is it, including examples and how to handle objections. You're going to develop approaches for your top 10 list. You do that with your sponsor, with the person that is mentoring you. We're going to go through that top 10 list that you have, and you're going to decide how the best way to approach them about this business, whether it's direct referral, evaluation, product, or Zoom meeting, or whatever that might be. You're going to set an appointment, and you're going to use 3-way calls for that appointment so that they can help you with that approach. Get them to an opportunity meeting by bringing them to a home presentation or a hotel presentation or putting them on a trial run. Follow up with your prospect within 24 hours to 78 hours. It really should be within the 24 to 48 hour range, but no longer than 78 hours. We explain what to say and what to do. And we follow up with our new agent within the first 7 days after they've completed the Getting Started training. And we work the ABC pattern so that by level C, you are able to sponsor another Go Now underneath those individuals, and we then duplicate that, and the next step starts again. The 90-day follow-up with a new agent, and you measure, monitor, adjust, and control to get these steps 1 through 9 and repeat them and duplicate them. Generate prospects. The 10-3-2 fast track philosophy is based on momentum. Talk to your people's people. The first 90 days are critical, and it's a numbers game. Your goal is to talk to 10 people a day so that you book 3 appointments a day. You leverage your time. You book all 3 appointments at the same time at a Starbucks, or get them all on a 3-way call. It doesn't have to be 3 separate appointments, but book 3 appointments a day and add 2 new names lists or 2 new names to your possibilities list every day. You do this 5 days a week, and you use the 2 extra days for catch up, weekends to catch up. But any day you fall short, there's a consequence. You have to double the activity for the day that you fall short. And there are additional consequences from me, for instance. If you are consistently not meeting your objectives, and you are not doing the result producing activity, maybe I will kick you off the fast track. Maybe you need to set your own consequences. Maybe you really like a television show, and if you aren't meeting your goals consistently, maybe you punish yourself by not watching the show until you've completed the fast track. Maybe you have to take the television and put it in the closet. But at the same time, I want you to reward yourself if you're doing well. Not rewards and recognition. They're not just going to come from me and the corporate team. Reward yourself. Whatever makes you happy. Take some time for yourself so that you feel good about what you've accomplished and what you're doing. There's a time period for you to decide. The time period for me is really, for most people, I think you should decide whether you want to do the fast track when you come on board, or dedicate yourself to working with a particular mentor, because you need to adapt that philosophy. Now, the 3-1-2 philosophy is that 2 to 3 year plan, which I mentioned. This is the general Seacret business model. People get to that point of earning a full-time income within about 3 years by talking to 3 people a day, booking 1 appointment a day, 2 new names a day. This is the moderate track. They're not going to become diamonds overnight, or within a 90-day time period. Might take them 2 to 3 years, but they're still working the business. How to make your 1 to 2 minute calls for appointments. You have your introduction, you say your reason for the call, and you use a hot button or a compliment, identifying the individual's positive characteristics that you've discussed with the person who gave you the name, and you refer to their background on their bio sheet. So you say, such and such speaks very highly of you, or you're just the type of person we're looking for, or you're actually one of the top 3 people that Elizabeth recommended I call. Or we work with very successful people, or we work very successfully with medical doctors or nurses, or I don't care, pick their profession, waitresses. People who are in the food service industry are phenomenal in this business because they know how to take rejection, they know how to deal with assholes, and they can put it aside and continue forward with their job because they know that it is a people business. And I love recruiting people in the food service industry. How to make 1 to 2 minute commercial calls for appointments. Remember, again, your job is to sell the appointment, not the plan. Your sole purpose in making that call is to set the appointment so that you can show them information. Have your answer ready for what is it, because they're going to ask it, and know your 2 minute commercial. This is the sheet that you will use to track. If you commit yourself to the 90-day fast track, whoever got you on this presentation, or who was your mentor or myself, we will send it to you, or you can get it as a part of our fast track group. You can download it there. You use this to keep track of your weekly progress. If you're on the fast track, the 10-3-2, you use all 10 spaces. If you're just doing 3-1-2, you just use the light blue ones. All right. But you see there's 5 days a week. Maybe you can't work Monday and Tuesday. Okay, fine. So adjust it so that it is Wednesday through Sunday, whatever that might be. But you see there's a space. Talk to, and you put their name with the key to book 3 appointments, and you fill in those appointments, and you put down the names of your prospects that you spoke with. And at the end of the week, we will go over this on our weekly progress call, and you send it to your upline, to your mentor, and to me. And the purpose of this is to make sure that not only are you doing the result producing activity, but also so that you don't let anybody who is interested in the business slip through the cracks and fail to follow up with them. So you're committing to being consistent with goals and deadlines. You're committing that you will be disciplined and you're going to stay focused. You're going to do this. Let's say Dustin, I go to Phoenix next week and the plane crashes. God willing, that won't happen. But if it does, you're still going to do this, because with or without me, because I'm going to be watching you do it. I promise. And if you don't stay consistent with your goals, I'm going to come and haunt your ass. Accountability. You're going to be accountable to your mentor who is assigned to you, to your sponsor, and to me. And you're going to document what you're doing so that you can prove it. Not just because we want to see it and we want to make sure that we're following through and following up with everybody who you've spoken with, but because at this end of the 90-day period, I want you to go back and look at what you have accomplished, because it's going to be amazing and powerful and it's going to change your life. Leverage your time using group approaches, business socials, luncheons, home presentations, wow parties where you're exposing people to the product, webinars, group interviews. Those are very, very powerful, and they eliminate you from being put in the position to show the presentation. Until you are in the business, have been in the business long enough, and you are earning commissions, you should not be trying to show or explain the business model to anyone. Your job is to bring them to your leaders so that that person, that expert, can show it to them. But you need to be a professional, and you need to use the tools. What are some tools? Our product brochures, have products for sale. I absolutely love our mud soap. I have bars of it on sale that I keep with me. And when somebody wants to order, I give them that bar and I put them in the system, and I just have their order shipped to me. Universal tools. Universal tools using the app, using books that aren't necessarily for our company, but that speak highly of the industry and talk about residual income. Webinars, again, the mobile app, regional and national events. Receipt books. Oh, you don't really need to, that's also going back 15, 20 years. Ignore that one. Powerline magazines or other magazines that support the industry or show people that are how they're progressing and making money in the company. Recent newspaper articles relevant to the industry and products. There's a lot of people in this industry who have made millions and millions of dollars who advocate for it, that have trainings available that are not specific just to their company. Watch them. I can give you links. They're very, very powerful. The more knowledge that you gain, the more material that you bring in, the same amount is going to come out. In-person opportunity meetings. Here's an example where you start at 5 o'clock, name tags, chit chat a little bit, some drinks. You need to make sure that these are, again, duplicatable. If you have a full smorgasbord and smoked brisket, and people are going to come and they're going to look at that and they're like, I can't afford that. I can't do that. But everybody can afford to put out some popcorn and pretzels and a couple of soft drinks or some bottles of water, right? Begin when you say you're going to begin the presentation. You need to begin 5:30 p.m. Presentation. It's going to be an hour. Welcome guests. Provide your 2-minute commercial, and then you begin. Then you edify whoever's going to be presenting the actual business presentation. And you edify them by saying you're going to know their bio, their history. You say positive things about them so that the people who are being introduced to them think, wow, this person has really made it. He's an expert. I need to pay attention. Because at some point, you're going to be that individual. You're going to be the expert, and there's going to be somebody edifying you before you get on stage or before you start presenting. The presenter then states the purpose of the evening and gives a simple introduction to this new business concept using our secret video. He plays the introduction on the TV or a laptop or screen, whatever that might be, and then answers questions. And at the end, we introduce guests, where they're from, what they do for a living, and why they came. And we continue. So we play the opportunity video, the Seacret Direct video. What is it? It explains the lifestyle company, what we do, and network marketing, how we do it. That is the end of this webinar. Again, this was to present to you what is going to be required of you and how you do it on a basic level of running the fast track. It's very easy to follow. It's not complicated, but it's not easy to accomplish because life gets in the way. So you have to stay dedicated. You have to say, I'm going to do this for 90 days. And you have to be steadfast and know exactly why you're doing it for 90 days because of your goal statement. And your goal statement should be very detailed, and you should read it at least twice a day. once in the morning, once at night before you go to bed. I recommend doing it multiple times throughout the day so that what you're doing stays at the forefront of your mind. I am a firm believer. I am not just a believer. I am a witness to the law of attraction, and what you think about, you bring about. If you think about being successful, if you keep these thoughts at the forefront of your mind, you are setting to the universe, saying to the universe, this is what I want, and you are going to attract the right people, places, and circumstances into your life so that you can accomplish that which you desire. So decide what you want now, and if it's something that the secret business model can help you obtain or can bring into your life, then dedicate 90 days to this system, be committed, make it happen. And at our national convention, I will see you there, and I'll see you on stage, and I promise a tear will come to my eye, because you'll get up there and be like, I never thought I could do it, and I've done this business, and it was never working for me. And I was about to file bankruptcy, and my car had been repossessed, and I don't know what I was going to do. And then I worked with Dustin, and now I'm making $20,000 a month, and I'm going to cry with you, because I get a 20% check match on everybody I recruit. So I want you to be successful. I want you to make $100,000, $300,000, $1 million a year, because Daddy loves to have your check match. But more importantly, I want to see you succeed, and that brings more joy to my heart than any dollar amount could ever bring. So commit to this, commit to the fast track. If you want to get to Diamond within the next 90 days, let's make it happen. We do this as a team and as a group. We don't start people in the middle. That's so that we can measure progress. So our next fast track is going to begin on July 1st, officially. It doesn't mean you can't start now. You most definitely can. It's just that you have to commit for that 90-day period starting July 1st as well. So you're actually going to do, if you commit immediately, you'll be doing it a little bit longer than 90 days, but there's absolutely no harm in that whatsoever. That's my cell phone number, 469-623-1013. Add it to your phone. Text me your information so I can save you. Tell me who you are, a little bit about yourself, and we'll set a time to call and get you committed to the fast track. And then if you are not part of my personal text group, text the word secret to 833-213-2025, and you'll get text updates, etc., things that are relevant to our team specifically. And I thank you all for taking the time to watch this. By taking the time to watch this, you're showing to me that you are committed to the business, that you want to make this happen. At least we're interested in making this happen for yourself, whether or not you choose to be part of this team. And I applaud you for that. But if you're going to make the decision to be part of this team, let's set this on fire. Let's be the fastest growing team in the entire company. And in a year from now, you will not recognize your life as it is today. I promise you that. Thank you all again, and I will see you at the top.